The world is too much with us. Late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathèd horn.
हम दुनिया में हद से ज्यादा खो गए हैं। दुनिया की चाहत हम पे कुछ इस तरह छा गई। कल भी यही जुनून था, आज भी यही दीवानगी। कमाने और खर्च करने की दौड़ में हमने अपनी सलाहियत, सुकून और ताकत सब गवा दी। फितरत में अब हमें अपना कोई रिश्ता नजर नहीं आता। हम अपना दिल दुनिया को दे बैठे। कैसा हकीर सौदा है। देखो, समंदर चांद के सामने अपना सीना खोले हुए है और हवाएं हर घड़ी गूंजने और चिल्लाने को तैयार हैं। अभी यही हवाएं सिमटकर इस तरह खामोश पड़ी हैं जैसे रात के वक्त फूल अपनी पंखड़ियां बंद करके सो गए हों। मगर हम फितरत की इस हुस्न और मौसीकी से बेताल्लुक हैं। हमारी जिंदगी फितरत की लय और आहंग से बिगड़ चुकी है। फितरत का ये अजीम हुस्न भी हमारे दिल को नहीं हिलाता। ए खुदा, ऐसी बेहिसी से तो बेहतर था कि मैं कदीम मुशरिकाना अकीदे में पला होता। तब शायद इस सरसब्ज मैदान में खड़े होकर मुझे फितरत के ऐसे नज़ारे दिखाई देते जो मेरी उदासी कम कर देते।
What is the central idea of the poem?
The poem criticizes humanity's excessive attachment to money, possessions, and material progress. People remain busy earning and spending and lose their emotional and spiritual connection with nature. Wordsworth believes that nature provides peace, beauty, inspiration, and spiritual renewal.
Explain the title, The World is Too Much with Us.
The title means that worldly concerns have gained too much control over human life. People are constantly occupied with money, business, possessions, and material desires. Consequently, they have little time or emotional sensitivity to appreciate nature.
What type of poem is The World is Too Much with Us?
The poem is an Italian or Petrarchan sonnet consisting of 14 lines. It is divided into an octave of 8 lines and a sestet of 6 lines. The octave presents the problem, while the sestet gives the poet's personal response.
What is the rhyme scheme and meter of the poem?
The rhyme scheme is ABBA, ABBA, CDC, CDC. The poem is mainly written in iambic pentameter, meaning that each line generally contains 5 metrical feet, with an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. The regular meter gives the poem seriousness and dignity.
What are the major themes of the poem?
The major themes are materialism, consumerism, alienation from nature, spiritual emptiness, loss of human sensitivity, and the healing power of nature. The poem also expresses the romantic belief that nature is a source of beauty, truth, peace, and spiritual fulfillment.
Explain the line, getting and spending. We lay waste our powers.
The line means that people waste their mental, emotional, and spiritual abilities in the endless cycle of earning and spending money. Instead of appreciating beauty or developing wisdom, they devote their lives mainly to material gain.
What does the poet mean by, we have given our hearts away?
The expression means that human beings have surrendered their emotions, values, and spiritual sensitivity to materialism. Their hearts no longer respond to the beauty of nature. They have exchanged inner peace and emotional richness for wealth and possessions.
Why does the poet call material progress a sordid boon?
The phrase, a sordid boon, is an oxymoron or paradox. A boon is a blessing or benefit, while sordid means morally unpleasant or shameful. Material progress gives comfort and wealth, but it also causes spiritual emptiness and separation from nature.
How does the poem present humanity's alienation from nature?
The poem shows that human beings have become emotionally and spiritually disconnected from nature. Although the sea, moon, winds, and flowers surround them, they remain unmoved. The phrase, "we are out of tune," shows that humanity no longer lives in harmony with the natural world.
How is personification used in the poem?
The sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The sea is presented as a woman opening herself before the moon. This makes nature appear alive, intimate, and beautiful. The winds are also personified because they are described as howling.
Explain the simile, upgathered now, like sleeping flowers.
The quiet winds are compared to flowers that close their petals and appear to sleep at night. The simile creates a peaceful visual image. It also shows that nature can be both powerful and calm, as the winds may howl loudly, but can also become completely still.
Explain the metaphor, we are out of tune.
The phrase is a musical metaphor. Human beings are compared to musical instruments that are no longer in harmony with nature. Nature has its own rhythm and balance, but materialistic people have become unable to respond to it.
Discuss the use of imagery in the poem.
Wordsworth uses both visual and auditory imagery. Visual imagery appears in the moonlit sea, sleeping flowers, pleasant meadow, Proteus rising from the sea, and Triton holding his horn. Auditory imagery appears in the howling winds and the sound of Triton's horn. These images make nature vivid, powerful, and mysterious.
What are the major poetic devices used in the poem?
The major poetic devices include personification, the sea that bears her bosom, simile, like sleeping flowers, metaphor, we are out of tune, oxymoron, a sordid boon, apostrophe, great God, allusion, Proteus and Triton, imagery, sea, moon, winds, flowers, and meadow, enjambment, ideas continue from one line to another, and contrast, materialistic life versus harmonious nature. These devices strengthen the poem's meaning and emotional impact.
What is the tone and mood of the poem?
The tone is initially critical, disappointed, and sorrowful because the poet condemns humanity's obsession with materialism. In the sestet, the tone becomes passionate, desperate, and imaginative. The overall mood is serious, reflective, and melancholy.
Where does the volta occur and why is it important?
The volta, or turning point, occurs in line 9. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be. At this point, the poem shifts from a general criticism of humanity to the poet's personal emotional response. He begins expressing his desire for a deeper spiritual relationship with nature.
Why would Wordsworth rather be a pagan?
Wordsworth does not literally reject his religion. He says that he would rather follow an ancient pagan belief than remain spiritually insensitive to nature. Pagans considered nature sacred and believed that divine beings lived within it. Such a belief would allow him to experience wonder and spiritual closeness to nature.
Who are Proteus and Triton, and what do they symbolize?
Proteus and Triton are figures from Greek mythology. Proteus is a sea god who could change his form, while Triton is a sea god who blows a conch-shaped horn. They symbolize the mystery, imagination, spirituality, and divine power of nature.
Discuss the theme, message, style, diction, and structure of the poem.
The central theme is humanity's separation from nature because of materialism. The message is that true peace and spiritual fulfillment come from living in harmony with nature rather than endlessly pursuing wealth. The style is reflective, critical, emotional, philosophical, and imaginative. Wordsworth's diction is powerful and carefully chosen. Expressions such as lay waste our powers, sordid boon, out of tune, and forlorn communicate disappointment, spiritual loss, and loneliness. Structurally, the poem is a Petrarchan sonnet divided into an octave and a sestet. The octave presents the problem of materialism, while the sestet expresses the poet's emotional response. The volta at line 9 marks this shift.
How is the poem relevant to modern society?
The poem remains highly relevant because modern life is still dominated by consumerism, technology, business, and the desire for more possessions. Many people spend little time in nature and experience stress, isolation, and emotional exhaustion. Wordsworth warns that material progress without emotional and spiritual balance can make human life empty. Humanity's obsession with material wealth has destroyed its emotional and spiritual connection with nature. True peace and spiritual fulfillment come from living in harmony with nature, not from the endless pursuit of wealth.